Senator Bernie Sanders also visited Utah today on the eve of Super Tuesday, speaking to supporters at the Utah State Fairpark.
Fox 13's Spencer Joseph was there and met with some Sanders supporters. Spencer.
Yeah, and it's very quiet now here at the fair parks, but earlier today, Sanders supporters were very excited to get to see their candidate.
Senator Bernie Sanders!
Senator Bernie Sanders took to the stage today in Utah ahead of the Super Tuesday primary to a large and loud crowd.
Utah, thank you!
Senator Sanders touched on topics like corporate greed, women's reproductive rights, and health care. But a main focus of his speech is,
well, in November, we are going to remind Donald Trump what democracy is about, because we're going to throw him out of office.
For one supporter, today was a very special honor.
Bernie Sanders is someone that's fighting alongside us, and that's why it's so important and so powerful that I was able to introduce him.
Dawood Moomin is a local Utahn who introduced the senator at his rally.
He is a wonderful man. I met him actually back in October, and just as I met him back then, he's still so kind and so honest and so genuine and so honestly compassionate about people's stories and issues, and very thankful for the work that we do for him.
For him and other supporters, Sanders is their candidate because of his authenticity.
Like he said, it's not always going to be pretty when he gives us news or, representing us, but it's about being authentic and true so that we can get the best results for the community of people the most affected.
So as he wrapped up, his supporters continued to cheer and chant.
And let us transform this country. Thank you all very much.
Ahead of a very important Super Tuesday primary. And a lot of people were saying they are very excited that tomorrow is that Super Tuesday primary. A lot of them have already voted, vote by mail, but they are hitting the polls tomorrow at the Utah State Fairgrounds Park. Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Spencer, thank you. We had the chance to visit one-on-one with Senator Sanders as part of a 3 questions interview. I asked him about how his political ideals run counter to those of the majority of Utahns and whether he can beat Donald Trump in Utah.
We will do our very best to beat him in Utah, as we will in every state in this country. And I think we have a good shot at that because we have the strongest grassroots movement of any campaign that's out there. As we speak today, we have thousands and thousands of volunteers knocking on doors, making the phone calls. And I think we have an agenda that speaks to the people of Utah and says that the government of the United States should work for all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors.
Sanders also had things to say about how to clean up Utah's air and how to balance protecting public lands with the economic growth from oil and gas development. We also got into why Utah hasn't given the nod to a Democratic presidential candidate since Lyndon Johnson. In fact, Senator Bernie Sanders will be our guest on 3 questions coming up Sunday night on Fox 13 News at 9. And at that time, we'll post the full interview with him at fox13now.com.